already done. Dr. Raji, about 5 to 8 minutes, and then we will discuss this more. It's all right. If it's not working, I'm sure we can all hear it.
Respected co-chair, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be just keeping few of these slides. I didn't bring much slides, but given them from the available slides. So I don't want to give any introduction straight away. I will just come down to the modeling aspect. How this particular modeling gained importance in the last 15 to 20 years, of simulation modeling in India. And also, as far as the dissemination part is concerned, since morning I heard many of the speakers, they are disseminating very fast, because now that is not a, ICT is not a big issue, but the big issue is the content. Now we have different farming situations, agroclimatic number, almost we have 130 agroclimatic zones in the country. Now, in recent years, the needs of the farmers have changed. And one advice won't serve the purpose of entire village or one farm. And farmer, he has got his own requirements. He has got paddy crop, he has different situations. To address the different situations, we need to have a decision support system. Unless and until you don't have that decision support system, we can't reach out to the farmers. That is all introduction. And third part, previous. So I don't want to touch upon first 2 points. This is another big issue now, the climate uncertainty and variability. This needs to be informed to the farming community through agromet advisories. Now this actually the advisory started in 1991, and just loosely we used to prepare the advisories. So without taking much of the technical expertise from different sources. Now this is the kind of the, so this is how we are reaching out to the farmers, by preparing the advisories manually. And now the modeling, it has become the modeling era, at least last 10 to 20 years. And how this is going to be used in the preparation of the agromet advisories. So this is all limitations. So this is actually the flow chart. This gives you the crux of our this modeling aspect. So what we are doing in the state of Andhra Pradesh under Rajendranagar Agricultural University. So now we have started using the crop simulation models. There are 2 models. One is the DSAT group, and second is the APSIM. And earlier we were not just preparing the advice by taking the past weather information and forecast weather, and by taking the information from different sources. Now we have started using the crop simulation models, and we have standardized for 3 crops: rice, maize and cotton. And if there is a likely chance of dry spell for another 4 to 5 days, what is its impact on the crop, and how best to address, what kind of advisory has to be given. So this is not possible manually to prepare unless and until you have a standard model. Now we are using the crop simulation model, particularly of the APSIM and the DSAT. So this is how the kind of the network which we have prepared, and now we would like, because we have to address, and also automation part, what Dr. Krishna Reddy has said, we are working out an automation plan. In the automation plan, just we can't give the advice as such, we have to use the crop simulation models. Next. And we have few experiences, and this is just 2 examples. So one, the situation, farming situation based advices we are preparing from this season, and you see the difference between red and black soils rainfed, and second is the red and black soils with limited irrigation. The advisory changes, and this kind of information is possible only through the crop simulation models. If you run the model, by taking into account soil and by taking into account irrigation, by taking into account the rainfall, you will be able to get the correct advice. Next. And this is one example what we have used in crop simulation model. in 2009, we advocated to the farmers saying that if you have one irrigation, supplemental irrigation, you will be able to get this much of the yield, additional yield. So this we have provided to our government advisories by demonstrating this kind of the simulation, this was the result. Next. And this is another issue what we have done. Particularly we are more worried about the climate change part. So we are talking more of climate variability and climate change. And we have done for 3-4 districts. And this is one of the districts where we try to use this cotton upstream simulation model. And we have looked at how best the strategic irrigation, the first graph indicates that if you give 1 or 2 irrigations, how much is the yield advantage? This we can give it to even the policy makers. In the years to come, the governments are looking for generating the irrigation commands, wherein how best to use the water more efficiently. This kind of information by using the models will be able to help the policy makers. So this is another related to the rice. So these are the few experiences what we have, and we are actually, I am very thankful to Dr. Dilip for inviting me to present in this particular topic in this particular conference, and we are happy to be involved in any kind of the work in the years to come. And our state is the #1 as far as particularly for taking up any kind of the project, and our university is very keen to work with any kind of the organization in the country at national or international level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think I am the first man who will be contacting you. Please let us discuss some things which are already in the pipeline at the Global Forum on this issue. So,
Can you say a few words about the ANGRAU project, what we are doing?
Actually, there is one new initiative, global initiative, with respect to this ACMIC project. And in this, what we are looking at is particularly for the South Asia. Particularly as far as our India is concerned, 2 states are involved. So we are actually testing different crop simulation models, and in this aspect we are also taking into account not only just the biophysical aspect, we are also taking into account socio-economic conditions and so economic models, and also how best the different typology based solutions would like to generate from the ACMIC project. And we have taken 2 different situations. One is the rain-fed situation, another is the irrigated situation. And what are the future, actually what we have to do in the context of particularly certain resource constraint. If there is going to be, we are actually predicting weather extremes in the future climate change scenario. And if it is the drought, what kind of policy issue, what kind of strategies we have to advocate to the planners, we also to the farmers to adopt at the ground level. So this, just by giving the technical input to the farmer, is not going to solve the farmers. Unless and until you address the issue at the even farm level, and also we have to see the socio-economic and all, as Madam said, gender sensitive, all these issues. Even we are looking at in each village, how this, somebody was saying in the morning, there is a variability of 100% yield between the farmers. So how best to actually look at what are the critical gaps that are existing in the village, how to address those things in the context of the climate change, to whom we have to give the support, to whom we have to push. So that way we are working in that project, and at Globe even we are also involving the stakeholders, and we would like to have a stakeholder meeting. Calling may invite Dr. Dilip's few of our senior people to that stakeholders meeting, so we can that way we are working in that particular project. We are addressing, we are looking at important crops of the country.
okay, thank you very much, and I'm sure we can discuss this on the coming few minutes. I have now Dilip.
Would you want to do it, or you can?
Yeah, I would like Dr. Reddy to present about a brief concept based on these discussions and everything about this modeling technique, and also we would like to find out some answers for certain questions. For example, Dr. Tyagi, we need to discuss what would be the location. Is